Alright, so this video is about the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Miami Heat. The game just ended. It was a pretty good game. Just some thoughts on the game. First thing that pokes out, man, Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh. I don't know if I've ever seen a star power forward play as soft as he plays down low. Like, he has his good games where he'll score some points and stuff, but man, he had like no rebounds until like the third quarter or something ridiculous like that. Ryan Hollins, he's like basically some like nobody. Not no disrespect to Ryan Hollins or whatever, but he's somebody that most people have never heard of, and he's like Cleveland's power forward, center, or whatever the case may be, and he was just punking them like it's crazy. It's crazy to see that because like Chris Bosh is during the off season when you had Amari Stoudemire, you had all these guys. All of these guys was considered secondary to Chris Bosh this offseason. And then when you watch Chris Bosh, it's like, what? Like, is this the guy? Like, it's crazy. Chris Bosh, man. I'm not so sure anymore about Chris Bosh. Like, I'm not so sure. If you took Lisa Leslie in her prime, I'm not so sure that she wouldn't own Chris Bosh down low. Like, I'm pretty sure you throw Lisa Leslie, you throw Lisa Leslie the entry pass in a paint, and I'm pretty sure she'll put some stuff on Chris Bosh and have him looking like a cake out there, man. Chris Bosh, what are we gonna do? But it's gonna be cool. Big ups to Cleveland though. Like Cleveland, they played all hard. That win was all heart and adrenaline because you can tell it was talent wise nowhere close. I mean, Cleveland has an old Baron Davis that they're depending on. So talent-wise, it's not even a game. You see, the Heat put a zone. They fell back into the zone in about like the late third quarter, early fourth quarter, where they made that big comeback. As soon as they got in the zone, Cleveland could do nothing. Like the possessions was falling apart. They were taking bad shots. They did not know what to do with the zone. Like, that should tell you that they don't have, like, the talent level that it's going to take to try to beat a team again or whatever. But it was all heart and adrenaline. You got to give it up to them. That was basically their championship this year, that game to beat LeBron and make him look bad. As for the king himself, he didn't have a real good game. But I didn't really take too much to that. It's not like it was because he came home or whatever. As you saw earlier this year, he destroyed them at home. He probably thought he was going to do that again today, which, he probably believed that. It just didn't work out. It was one of those days where it's just like nothing goes in. And that's what was happening. Like, he was missing layups. He hit the 13 points in the first quarter. And then after that, everything was missing. Like the layups, those power layups that he usually gets when he like bulldozes through the lane and stuff. He was missing those. I mean, it just wasn't going down. It was a three in the fourth quarter that he took from the corner, and he didn't even catch and shoot it. He caught it. He dribbled once to get like his footwork together. He measured it and then shot it, and it still didn't go in. So that should tell you something. I mean, sometimes it just goes like that. Sometimes the balls don't. Sometimes they just don't go in. So I'm not going to put too much on LeBron in this. And D-Wade, he wasn't really playing that great either, but he started kind of catching fire a little bit later in the game. And he was doing, a good job, too. He was basically what was keeping him in it. Him and Mike Bibby. Mike Bibby was on something today. Like, Mike Bibby was really doing this thing. He was three after three. He was just, every time he let him go, you thought it was going in. So that's a good sign going into the playoffs. But it was a good game. I didn't expect much out of this game. Like, the first one was so terrible because it was boring, because it was just like Miami just beating the crap out of them. But this one was all heart and adrenaline. Anthony Parker hit some timely shots, in the open court when they were running. There was some people, I had never heard of these people because, I used to watch Cleveland last year and prior because LeBron is my favorite player. So I used to watch all those guys, but like this year they have like the Ryan Hollins, the dude who was like pushing Chris Bosh around and owning him the whole game. Some dude named Alonzo Z or Alonzo G or something like that. He made some good plays too. I had never heard of these people, like, cause I don't follow, ever since LeBron left, I don't follow the Cavs. Like, and Ramon Sessions in the fourth quarter, he had some key possessions that kept them from losing control of the game. So that was outstanding too. Um, you know, Daniel Gibson, the resident, he's like the face of Cleveland now. And Baron Davis, you know, he's taking his game to Cleveland. He's still doing a good job. I thought he was going to be pouting and not caring once he got there, but he's doing a good job. I mean, he's still throwing those alley passes and stuff like he was doing, you know, with the Clippers, with that team. That team, they got it, you know, down in Los Angeles. Baron Davis still holding it down. But yeah, it was a good game. Chris Bosh was like watching. It was painful watching Chris Bosh today. It was real painful. Shaq called him the RuPaul of big men. I'm not so sure that's inaccurate. Chris Bosh, man. I mean, he's gonna take some. They're gonna say it's the system. You know, some LeBron haters are gonna say, well, no, it's LeBron. You know, having to you know, make all the plays or whatever. But I mean, Chris Bosh is just not playing ball. Like, he is really soft down low. Like, it's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a star big man play that soft before, ever. Like, I mean, you could rip on Amari Stoudemire because he doesn't play defense and he doesn't rebound, but at least he's a presence. Like, Chris Bosh disappears now. It's so crazy to see. Like, I've never seen any other big man like that's a star. Like, I've never seen another star big man play so soft. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm not so sure that you know, Lisa Leslie wouldn't own him in the paint. and that's no disrespect to Lisa Leslie, obviously, you know, one of the greatest women's basketball player. But still, like, I'm pretty sure Lisa Leslie could probably own Chris Bosh in the paint. But yeah, that was just like my thoughts on that game. It was still a pretty good game though. Big ups to the Cavs for, like, you know, digging deep and knocking off the Heat, who are going to be the number 2 seed and possibly win a championship. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, but that's my video. Thanks for watching.